mankind as a whole, but rather to the horrors they commit, which keeps any of them from
Away from the light,
discovering
yeah.
and nurturing that divine spark.
That man, Judge Holden, stopping us from reaching divine spark, because it's called Rivals Ranked. Rivals solo queue, bruh. Low tier God streams. Nick Fuentes, Asmongold tweets. Yo, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back with another banger. Huh? Ho. Cut out, heard me, bro. I said I'm back with another. Banger of reaction for y'all boys, man. Hey, man. Say, man. We got another analysis, right? Analysis for one of these evil characters today, Cuddy. We just did AIM. We just did AIM, and y'all were telling me to react to Judge Holden. Now, I heard a little bit about Judge Holden on TikTok. I'm on like the weird nerdy side of TikTok, like discussing like the worst characters of fiction, the most evil characters of fiction. We got Griffith, and Judge Holden was also on the list. Now, I know like bits and pieces. All I know is that he's evil and that he's like a Midwestern ditty and that he's from a book. That's all I know. Now, I'm excited. I'm also terrified and kind of worried. But fellas, this is done by unsolicited advice. This review, Cuddy, and let me stop yapping. And let's get straight to it. Now, also, I'm in my car also. And I'm on winter break, so we chilling. Lock in.
Whatsoever exists without my knowledge exists without my consent.
I don't get it.
In all fiction, there is one character that comes up again and again when people discuss the most terrifying or disturbing figures of all time.
I really wonder now in like modern times if like literature kind of, literature still like a thing, like, you know, traditional literature, but like with manga and comics being as like common as there are now, being as mainstream as it is, and kind of taking over like the mainstream of like how literature was way back when. Which character in comics and in fiction would y'all nominate as like a part of this? Aside from Griffith, we all know Griffith is gonna be on top of everyone's list. Gojo? Honey, it's Sukuna. Listen, Cuddy, not too much on Sukuna, but like I really want to know who would y'all nominate, bruh? Hit the target, Cuddy, from Stampy. That's who I nominate, Cuddy, a true demon.
He does not appear to age. He stands 7 foot tall and hairless, and
7 foot tall and hairless.
seems to delight in the most heinous of all crimes. Worst of all, he seems near omnipotent and totally undefeatable.
They're talking about me, gang. Don't glaze me too much, Cuddy. You glazing me.
This is the character of Judge Holden in Cormac McCarthy's masterpiece,
Blood Meridian.
His tale follows the infamous Glanton Gang as they rampaged through the wild west of America in the 1840s. Our semi-protagonist is a young man named only The Kid, but we won't be talking too much about him today.
Imagine he dies in like the first chapter, Cuddy. That's why he's called a semi-protagonist. He dies in the first 5 issues.
Judge Holden, or simply the Judge, is the second in command to this group of cutthroats and is also by far the most unsettling. Be warned.
I'm warned.
Beyond this point are both spoilers for McCarthy's novel and a large amount of disturbing content. So
I mean, it can't be... I'm gonna say, like, you're gonna, like, skip 10 seconds. Like, I'm just ungodly screaming.
So please do proceed with caution. Since I would not want to enforce a singular interpretation on a character who is, by design, left rich with vagaries...
What does vagaries mean? Dude, this guy, like, is too intelligent for me. Hold on. Change the situation or someone's behavior. Okay.
Instead, go through a number of different interpretations and then examine how they differ from one another.
There's different interpretations of the Judge?
But, perhaps more importantly, how they all seemingly work together.
Why is a goat throwing hands? Literature is weird.
To form a single, vibrant, yet terrifying symbol.
Got an overperforming ass goat, bruh.
Also, do be aware that this is just my take on the novel and the character, and if you have your own that disagrees with mine, that is absolutely fine. So, with that out of the way, let's discuss one of the most popular interpretations of the Judge. That he is nothing less than the devil himself.
Golly, he is that bad. Watch him be like, he just have like an overdue library card, Cuddy. Like, like, bro, y'all are hyping him up. This man better be like the most despicable being of all time, bro. You know, like the one ticket smiling friends with Charlie and like Pam are going against like the negative anti-smile. I forgot their names, but like the not nepotism, nihilism, the nihilism friends. Like, nothing matters, and we're all gonna die. And Pam is like, don't look, Charlie. Oh, don't look, Charlie. You know, and Charlie's like, oh, I've seen, like, oh, I better not be like that, Cuddy. I want to see some nitty gritty stuff. Y'all keep hyping him up. I better be hyped up. Well, disgusted.
I want to be rich.
And we got an ad. Okay, maybe this guy's Judge Holden. Is this guy?
Wishing for more money? All you need is your phone. No. Go to Geico.
What if the Geico kicker just beats the absolute mess out of him, dude? Hits him with the meanest uppercut. A Blake kicks his balls.
Get a quote, and you could save $900 with your phone.
Look at that, it's ringing.
It feels good to save some coin. It feels good to Geico.
Penny wants a divorce. Don't growl at me.
The day has come.
What is Avatar even about? Well, I like how Avatar was just one good movie only because it was the first movie in like 3Ds. Like, no, I ain't gonna lie. Hot take, the Avatar movie, the first one was hella mid. I did not care for it. Like, I'm not gonna hold you, bruh. So, like, but I like how they expanded upon to this ancient world. But still, this still seems boring. I would very much rather watch Darker Than Moon Transformers.
1. A modern Mephistopheles.
What does that mean? Mephistopheles? Oh, bruh. Cuddy, winter break already started, Cuddy, and my mind is already done for. A German demon, gotcha.
One of the wonderful aspects of McCarthy's writing in Blood Meridian is its immersion in religious and mystical imagery. Most recognizably, this comes in the form of Christian symbolism,
yeah.
such as the repeated desecrations of the cross, or very early in the novel, a tavern goer speaks of the wrath of God lying sleeping. But it also comes in a general agency and mythic status imbued in the landscape itself and the characters in the novel, such as the mountains being compared to the backs of great sea beasts.
Or the mountains being compared to y'all's fat asses. I'm a fat fucking chud.
Or references to Greek myths, such as riders being referred to as Argonauts after the Greek hero Jason's motley crew.
Right.
All of this leaves the impression that the material world of Blood Meridian is not all there is, and that underneath these ordinary men there are deeply metaphysical battles at play. It is partly this that has led various interpreters to see Judge Holden as the embodiment of the Abrahamic devil. This interpretation is very popular, with Edwin Arnold referring to Holden as clearly satanic, and there is also a lot of textual evidence to support this idea. The judge is associated at various different points with satanic motifs, such as being a skilled fiddle player and appearing to make mysterious deals with those around him.
Huh. So wait, why is a fiddle player kind of aligned with, like, symbolism with the devil? Playing with your fiddle? What would that be in modern times? Like a guy who plays, like, the recorder, Cuddy, hot cross buns? Or maybe, like, I have no idea. I low-key wanted, like, time travel a guy from this modern times with these, like, symbolisms and motif being as, like, mainstream and popular as it was to, like, 2025. And I just wanted to see him go crazy. Like, you put on that new Trippy Red, Cuddy. Ah! Like, he just disintegrates, like, right where he stands. You know? Unironically, though, dude, if there was a musical artist that was, like, in cahoots with the devil, you know, getting back shots by the big S himself. Unironically, it probably would be Trippy Red. Or like Playboy Cardi. I don't know the whole Playboy Cardi, but like, I don't know. Or no, and Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox, and they were drinking each other's blood. Hey, Cardi.
Most notably, the leader of the gang, Glanton, is said to have made a terrible covenant with the judge, which we never see the details of. Likewise, there are real and repeated hints to Holden having something supernatural about him.
I mean, isn't he pale? It's kind of like a massive hint right there. He's like fully, like literally the color white on MS Paint, dog.
He is said to not look particularly human, being simultaneously huge and hairless, yet at the same time having an almost infantile appearance.
Yeah, because he's a little white. I mean, he has no hair, so I would assume that's why he looks like an infant. Oh, no, because you can look old without hair, you know, like a Michael Jordan.
From Goethe's Mephistopheles, he inherits a
God, it looks like Gargamel.
kind of Luciferian seductiveness.
How? He's seductive?
Goethe's Mephistopheles, he inherits a kind of Luciferian seductiveness.
Cuddy, who is being seducted by this guy? Hey, Cuddy, y'all standards are in the trash, bro. Nah, Hoodie Dude, oh my God, Hoodie Dude, I'm just saying, hear me out, Cake. Yeah, Cuddy, jail.
He is a charmer.
How?
Someone who makes others feel safe and appreciated, but who nonetheless brings inevitable destruction in his wake.
What, like a toxic ex?
For example, at one town the gang stop at, the judge strikes up an immediate friendship with the governor there, dazzling him with his education. Yet, as he does this, the gang tear up the settlement with their drinking and fighting until it is all but abandoned. He is even referred to as like a jinn, which is the very same type of spirit that Satan is, according to many denominations of Islam. And much like many depictions of Satan, the judge also appears to the desperate and the needy and effectively offers them their life or some other reward in exchange for their soul.
So he just attacks the homeless. Okay, I got you. So would he be like a pimp? I guess, because in Shakespeare, they're like bodies and their services. He wants their souls. Is he a devil pimp? I don't know. I'm trying to think. What would be the modern manifestation of Judge Holden in today's society? Who utilizes homeless people to their will? I don't know. Corporations. I guess I did not know where I was going with that. My mistake. What the fuck? Cuddy, he heard me. He don't let me pause him, bitch.
Metaphorically speaking, of course.
Cuddy, are you Judge Holden?
For instance, when he first meets both Glanton and Tobin, a gang member who was a priest in training,
Who names your kid Tobin?
he saves their lives by managing to make gunpowder from natural ingredients, and so allowing them to win an encounter with some Native Americans. In that moment, he is effectively their savior. And yet, this was also a poisoned chalice. While the Glanton gang were certainly not a pack of monks before this moment, it is heavily implied that they became much more brutal and indiscriminate in their killing after the judge joined their crew. And we even see them become increasingly cruel and senseless in their violence as the novel progresses.
Right.
Pointedly, in one exchange
Why are you saying right like you read the novel? Shut up.
between the judge and the ex-priest, Judge Holden says, "What could I ask of you that you've not already given?" Implying that, in following the judge, the ex-priest has already given everything, including his soul, with no explicit trade required. And this idea is well in line with many Christian teachings about the devil and about demons.
Yeah.
Classically, it is Catholic doctrine that you cannot truly sell your soul because it just is not yours to sell. It rightly belongs to God. Instead, all this talk of selling souls is merely a trick by the devil to tempt you into remaining in a state of unrepentant mortal sin, and thus never turning to God for forgiveness. Thus, when Glanton and his gang strike a deal with Judge Holden, that is not the moment where they lose their souls. It is when they let the judge into their hearts.
Okay, I got you.
Let his brutal will dictate their actions,
making them more cruel. Okay.
That they truly abandon goodness for evil.
Cuddy, hey, these scriptwriters are scripting. I'm not gonna lie, Mr. Cormac. Hey, Cuddy. Chef's kiss. The Grinch's cave. You think the Grinch is a gooner? Unironically, I kind of mess with this layout, bruh. But I'm not gonna lie, I would never feel comfortable with my pet dog or cat being this close to an open flame. I don't know why, but I could see my little Pomeranian just jumping in, skydiving into the pits of the campfire. I'm not gonna hold you.
Just like with the Christian devil, the judge joining their gang was merely setting them off on their way. Interestingly, the judge also displays the qualities of the devil as a would-be usurper of God. This is even clear in his very name, the judge. According to Christian tradition, there just are no ultimate judges except for the Son, who will come to judge the quick and the dead on the day of judgment. All other rightful judgments are pragmatic or merely derived from his will. For example, St. Thomas Aquinas says that when a...
St. Thomas Aquinas? Hey, hey, bro. These old names, these old-timey names are garbage, bro. Ugh. I know not all of it could be Mozart Wolfgang, right? Is that his name? I think so. But like, bro, Aquinas? Nerd.
Human judge condemns a man to death, this is mainly to protect the common good. Any absolute moral authority of the judgment is only derived through acting in accordance with God's will, since God does desire the common good. Thus, when Holden elects himself a judge, this is very similar to the original crime of Lucifer, who, in Milton's Paradise Lost, was depicted as leading a rebellion against God in an attempt to supplant him.
So like Megatron?
To, in effect, become ruler and judge in his place. Of course, the judge's wish to corrupt other people also corroborates this satanic interpretation. If, as many choose to, you identify the devil with the serpent in the Garden of Eden, then Satan's primary wish is to pervert God's creation and to introduce what is evil into God's good world through human free will.
Like low-tier God streams. Rivals ranked! Hey, Cuddy, the devil got me, bro. It's called Siege Ranked, bro. It's called Rust. Fuck. Honey, dude, this is a very serious topic. You need a lock-in. Shut up, nerd. Hey, bruh. You already got me, gang. I'll be chilling out with stuff like that. I'm about to say like that, and like you about to be watching just like, oh, word, Cuddy, I got you. Hey, chill, Cuddy, chill. I'm forced to watch Has Been Hotel for like reruns for all eternity, gang. Let me chill out, bro. Let me chill out. And then fall in love with the Holy Spirit. Amen.
We see this in the New Testament during Christ's trials in the desert, where the devil attempts to corrupt even the Son of God.
Jesus Moggs.
And just like how in these stories, Satan often attempts to do this by appealing to mankind's ability to reject the moral code of God and so follow their own path, the judge rejects moral codes altogether, paraphrasing Heraclitus and saying that the only real truth is that war is God. In other words, to dismiss any idea of a higher law in favor of personal material power. The judge's strategy reminds me a little bit of this famous line from the book of Isaiah.
I was about to say, what if you quoted like the MCU or something?
Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
That put darkness for light and light for darkness.
Manipulation. Ooh. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness. Speaking of which, fellas, hot take. I like FNAF too. Hey, Cuddy! I knew it! Isaiah 5:20, Cuddy! FNAF 2 is peak! Y'all can't tell me no different, gang! Ultimate Spider-Man is fire! Hey, Isaiah 5:20, Cuddy! Ultimate Spider-Man slaps! Hey, Spectacular Spider-Man's better. Ultimate Spider-Man... I'm not saying Spectacular Spider-Man's not that good. I'm not saying it's not peak. But Ultimate Spider-Man is peak too! I don't want to hear it, gang!
It's also worth noting that the judge specifically targets children for his crimes, in line with the satanic aim of defiling anything innocent.
Yeah. I'm curious though. So like, does the whole defying anything innocent kind? Oh, okay. I was about to say he's drawn to severely mentally disabled. Okay, honestly, that was my next question. I need to see what happens. You shut up and watch the video. See what happens. Shut up, dude.
He is drawn to a severely mentally disabled adult for the same reason.
That was my second question. Unironically, I was gonna ask, what about like the man childs, right? The people who are like severe development, where like as they're gotten older, they're slower? Not slower, but they still have the mind of a child even though being older. Like you? Shut up.
These are the people you could most plausibly say are not yet corrupted. The closest thing to Adam and Eve before their fall.
Does Judge Holden make an appearance on Has Been Hotel?
Under a satanic reading of the judge, it makes perfect sense that he would want to particularly pervert this aspect of God's creation, one that Christ himself singled out for specific protection. However, despite all of this, there is another supernaturalist interpretation of the judge that is related to this one, but is perhaps a little bit more complex. And this treats the judge not as the devil, but as a servant of the dreaded Gnostic demiurge. If you want to help me make more videos like this, then please consider becoming one of my wonderful patrons. You'll have my eternal gratitude and get access to very occasional exclusive content. The link is in the description. Woo! 2. the Gnostic Gospel of Corn.
Ah!
Cormac.
Okay.
Gnosticism is perhaps one of the most fascinating religious ideas in history.
Lay it on me.
It has been at various times a form of Christianity, a heretical teaching, and a synchronist mishmash of various beliefs from Zoroastrianism, the Bible, and much more.
Okay.
But if we were to really simplify things, the general thrust of Gnosticism is this. The material world was not created by a good god, but by a demiurge.
The hell's a demiurge? Demigorgon? Bruh. Demiurge. Definition. Okay.
Who was either ignorant or outright malicious. And our goal as humans should be to
It's to usurp this.
escape from this world.
It's like the absolute universe. It's absolute Batman Moses. Like a Matt Pack game theory, Cuddy. Bible theory, religious theory.
Via knowledge of the true, immaterial, and good God.
Dude, unironically, absolute Wonder Woman, dude. Actually, absolute Wonder Woman. Peak cinema, peak fiction, peak writing.
This knowledge is referred to as gnosis, hence Gnosticism. Obviously, I am skimming over a whole lot of detail here, and different
so.
Gnostics differed widely on the details of their beliefs.
This guy just gets slandered by all these like religious fanatics. You!
But, you know, you get the picture.
Right.
And applying a Gnostic lens to Blood Meridian was pioneered by Leo Doherty and later refined by Petra Mundik. And I'll be drawing from their work a lot in this section.
Okay.
Mundik points out the same agency McCarthy gives to the world that we looked at in the last section, but claims McCarthy specifically describes a world that is semi-agentially evil. Everything from the mountains to the sun are described as not just harmful, but sort of malevolent.
I suppose, because the sun, if you look at it too long, can blind you, burns, causes cancer. I forgot the other one. Mountains. Mountains causes, like, habitat. I mean, I guess, but, like, even if you do it that much, can't you, like, if you reach hard enough, anything can mean anything, so I don't know. I really wonder what, like, the malevolent force it would be of, like, what would the malevolent force be for, like, a car or, like, man-made things like a wheel or fire? I mean, it's fire's natural, but you know what I mean?
We can again think of the mountains as the backs of great beasts.
Fat asses.
Perhaps even the biblical Leviathan, and also the repeated negative descriptions of the sun's heat and the barrenness of the desert,
yeah.
which are, again, put in semi-agential terms.
I
Mundik
guess.
also observes that the world of Blood Meridian is itself a world of mirages and hallucinations, as our protagonist, the kid, often does see illusions in various states of delirium,
Soul Eater.
including one where he sees the judge standing before him. This idea of the world as illusory is also very much in line with these Gnostic teachings, as is the judge's depiction as a purveyor of counterfeit coins, which is how the kid sees him in his visions. As Mundik's paper says, being the judge of counterfeit currency stands in for being the judge of a counterfeit reality.
Okay.
It is also worth pointing out that the judge is one of the only people in the book that actually seems satisfied with their world.
Bro, the layers of this are really good. Look! Hey, I don't like... Hey, Cuddy, unironically, I might have to read Blood Meridian. I look at layers and layers. Everything is so, like, perfectly sculpted, dude. That author's a freak.
Whereas
In a good way.
others spend their time
In
in
fear.
fear or anxiety or anger.
Displeased with the world overall, the negative emotions towards the world. I got you. Okay. Following the law.
he
Or
remained-
following that little gnome aesthetic.
strangely serene, while the other's emotions rebel against the brutal state of the world.
Wait, hold on. Is there like a theory that... Shut up! Is there like a theory that the judge is the demiurge, or is that could be like the plot twist? Is he like, maybe?
Even as they take part in it, the judge is the only one who is not in any kind of turmoil. He
He's
is
satisfied.
not
He likes
angry, nor conflicted, nor troubled. He simply sits like a dark mirror of a bodhisattva,
I don't get that reference, but yes. Preach!
preaching his gospel of brutality to whomever will listen. Mundik also
Homeless people.
talks about the Gnostic idea that
Gnostic,
despite
okay.
living in a fallen world, there is a spark of immaterial, genuine divinity in all of us that maintains our connection to the higher reality. We can see this in the tiny acts of kindness that glimmer through the novel. Most obviously, there is the kindness shown by some local women to this severely mentally disabled adult, where they clean him up, get him some clothes, and generally are the only people to treat him with dignity. Another example is the kid's passive resistance to the gang's more violent acts. He often subtly refuses to partake in them, or partake in them fully, and so in some small way rejects the bargain offered by the judge.
Cuddy?
Likewise, in the epilogue to the novel, we see someone making sparks by hammering a steel pole into the earth, which is symbolic of the still living divine spark in all of us that, despite his best efforts, the judge cannot fully stifle.
Ah, Cuddy! Human spirit, bruh! Hey, Judge Holden, on everyone's soul, Cuddy! On everyone's spark, bruh! Eat my nuts, gang! You hear that, Cuddy? On everyone's soul, I'm soloing Judge Holden, bruh. Ah, symbolism. Peak writing. Better than Sakamoto days, Cuddy. The fall of is crazy. Better than all that, Cuddy. And there's a guy walking to his car to my left. I am severely embarrassed. Hold on. Give me like 5 minutes, gang. I'm back. All right, he left. Lock in.
Under this reading, the judge himself is seen either as the demiurge
Oh, what? Honey, that was right. I'm cooking.
or one of the archons, the
What's an archon? It's one of like a horseman, like Apocalypse's horseman of the apocalypse, like Gambit.
supernatural beings which rule the world the demiurge has created.
Oh, so okay, yeah. So enforcers.
Whose
So like Ron Artest or Charles Oakley.
job it is to prevent
Prevent
us
from seeking, like reaching, like what, Nirvana?
from reaching gnosis. And this does make sense, considering his contentment with the world as it is, and his
And-
desire to bring the Glanton gang
Into like, I guess, sin or corruption. Thank you.
into further corruption, and so hopefully extinguish
The
that
sparks.
divine spark that
Yeah.
connects them to the higher deity.
You hear me, Cuddy? I'm contributing. I'm understanding, bruh. I ain't no dummy when it comes to literature, bro. I don't want to hear none of that junk, bruh.
It also
Cuddy, dude, this is very easy. Shut up, nerd.
coheres with how the novel describes him as never dying and never sleeping.
Cuddy's a Redditor, a 4chan user, a Discord mod.
If he is an archon or the demiurge who has been here since the dawn of time, then that would certainly be possible.
Right.
It also explains why he will expound his own philosophy to anyone who will hear it.
Cuddy, anyone who would see him either, Cuddy. Ugh. Seductive my ass, bruh. Cuddy looks like a McDonald's, like, I don't know, bruh. Average like a lunch lady, gang.
As in the case of Satan, the demiurge and his archons are oppositional figures, dedicated to combating the ideas of the good immaterial god. They are
Like, Groudon and Kyogre.
not just chaotically evil, they have a mission and a purpose. And for all his spiritual language and references to scripture, the judge espouses a form of Darwinian materialism as his normative doctrine.
What, the strongest will live?
When he refers to war as God, this is not just a reference to Heraclitus, but also the Hobbesian idea of a state of nature. According to the philosopher Thomas Hobbes, if we left humanity to its own devices without any sort of government or social organization,
Well, we would fall into chaos.
Eczema isn't always.
Yeah, just play the ad, bruh. Just give me the medication what works and what doesn't. You no need for like Chris Brown or Ty Dolla $ign in the background. Yeah, jerking off into the mic, Cuddy.
Obvious.
Whatever.
then we would
Yeah,
fall
yeah.
into a state of war of all against all.
Which I don't understand. Hey, Thomas Hobbes, opinion diff gang. Screw you, Thomas Hobbes. Only Hobbes I respect is Hobbes and Shaw.
Where only the
And Hobbes the Tiger.
strong win out, and even then, only temporarily, since they will soon be defeated
By a
by
stronger,
someone
yeah.
even stronger.
Got you.
We even see this pattern in the novel. Glanton's gang are the undisputed victors of almost every encounter they have. They are the powerful ones, the
Cuddy, soaking her ass lore, bruh. Soaking her ideals, Cuddy.
beneficiaries of
Even though that's my guy.
the ever-raging war. And yet, eventually they encounter
Someone
a foe
stronger.
who defeats them, the Yuma tribe, who kill Glanton and most of his gang. But, on a personal level, the judge does not seem fazed by this.
He did not
He
care.
ensures his own survival with the same steady calm as he has acted throughout the novel, and then he wanders out of the ashes, unmoved by all the men who were supposedly his friends who now lay dead.
Like Griffith.
But if we think about it, this is only fitting with the attitude of the demiurge or one of the archons. After all, he is not concerned with particular people.
He's concerned about keeping the spark dead and keeping the ideals of bad, gooning, murder, pillaging, alive. I got you.
only the spirit in which they are acting.
If it's a negative, yes.
Since the massacre by the Yumas is in the same spirit of war and violence as the massacres committed by Glanton's gang, it is only rational that the judge would be just as pleased with this outcome.
Yeah, he
his
doesn't care.
allegiance is not to any man,
It's to an idea.
or even mankind as a whole, but rather to the horrors they commit, which keeps any of them
Away
from
from the light,
discovering
yeah.
and nurturing that divine spark.
That man, Judge Holden, stopping us from reaching divine spark because it's called Rivals Ranked. Rival solo queue, bruh. Low tier God streams. Nick Fuentes. Asmongold tweets. Yo, dude. What's another one, dude? I have no idea. Dave Blunt's music, Cuddy. What's another trash artist, bruh? KSI music. Generative AI. What's another one? I have no idea.
However, having said all this, I want to take a step back from these more metaphysical interpretations of the judge.
James Harden.
Because, ultimately, I think both the idea of him as Satan and as an Archon are two sides of the same symbolic coin.
Yeah.
That of temptation and of badly losing one's way. 3. The eternal trickster.
Like Loki?
In a huge number of faiths and belief systems, there is some spirit or creature which plays the role of the malevolent trickster. Be it Loki in some readings of Norse mythology,
And a rage baiter. Proximity chat, Cuddy.
Satan in Christianity, the Archons in Gnosticism, or Maya in Buddhism, these are painted as false friends. That is, they often purport to bear gifts, but within those gifts is some hidden aspect which will spell the doom of any who accept it. It is found in O'Brien from 1984, who claims to desire...
There's another person parking to the left of me. I am terrified. I am being judged right now. Give me a second. 5 minutes.
the
I'm back.
overthrow of Big Brother, but is in fact a member of the secret police.
Wait, I lost track for like 5 seconds. Hold on. What?
Who claim of any, but within those gifts is
tricksters,
some
right,
hidden
right.
O'Brien from 1984, who claims to desire the overthrow of Big Brother,
When he said O'Brien 1984, I'm not going to hold you. I was thinking of sports.
but is in her most desperate moment and offers to spin wool into gold, but at the cost of her firstborn child.
Damn. Cuddy sacrificed his firstborn child for a full 100% polyester hoodie, Cuddy. Low tier God. I keep mentioning him, Cuddy.
Hell, it's arguably the role Odysseus played in the fall of Troy, stealing into the city by means of the Trojan horse that was gifted to the inhabitants. And in each case, there is often an implicit message to be drawn. Beware deals like this that seem to do good but come at a severe or unbearable cost later down the line.
Timu deals, Cuddy.
Or, to put a more psychological spin on it,
If it's too good to be true, it probably is.
beware the aspects of yourself that would be tempted to accept a deal like this. I would posit that what both the satanic and the archontic interpretations of the judge have in common is this psychological role of the tempter or the false shepherd. In other words,
False shepherd is such a great way to put it.
in his philosophy and his approach to life, he offers up a gift to our worst instincts, and yet hides the terrible cost this gift will entail.
Cuddy. Cooked ass lamb, bro.
Luckily, we have already gone over much of the evidence for this interpretation in the previous two sections.
yeah.
There is the explicit deal he strikes with Glanton, the implicit one he strikes with anyone else who joins the crew, and his alluring might makes right philosophy.
So is he like an evil Luffy?
But I do think it goes much
he
deeper
is.
than this. First, let's look at what the judge embodies. He is our worst instincts stretched to their extreme in every direction. On the one hand, he is every kind of base cruelty. He defiles the bare skin of the innocent and destroys whatever he comes across after noting it down in his little book. He is lust and avarice and greed. And yet, he is also every refined brutality. He has the intelligence, wit, and cunning to worm his way into people's hearts and minds, to get away with anything he does. He is the evil of the wastes and the evil of civilization. He is what would happen if not just the evil wishes of one individual, but the evil wishes of every man, woman, and child on the planet came to life. But On the other hand, he is not quite human.
How many hands do we have in this, like metaphor?
So he manages to make this last. While I hope that very few people would want to be him,
I would hope not.
he does stand in for a tempting idea.
Not really. Well, like, do whatever you want, I guess. But at the same time, no.
What if you could do every horrible or selfish thing you had ever wanted? Every angry or vengeful thought that flitted past your mind for a moment? Every act of spite or resentment that you temporarily conjured up before your envious eyes and yet somehow get away with it all?
I'm not gonna hold you. People like that who, like, I don't know, they're like, what I want to, like, give it, I don't want to be like holding it now, because I would give it to my, like, my worst urges, right? If, like, a guy flipped me off in traffic or cut me off, I would want him to die, but, like, if I could theoretically key his car or pop a few tires without any, like, moral, like, without any, like, issue, of course. But, like, my worst desires, huh? It's like those same people that need, like, religion to justify why murder is bad. Like, hey, why is murder bad? God said it's so. Oh, I get that's good. That's a good point. Anything else? No. You know what I mean? Like, oh, let's relax, buddy. You know what I'm saying? People like that have something off with them. I'm not gonna hold you, because I feel like a majority of people, their worst urges would be like, probably like jerking off or something, gooning, or like cutting something. Stealing's a great one. I feel like stealing is something everyone would do given into the worst urges, right? Stealing. But like stuff like murder, rape. There's another one I'm losing. But like stuff like that, I feel like a majority of people wouldn't do so. Maybe I'm optimistic. I got the divine spark in me, gang. But no, other than that, I do. People like that terrify the shit out of me. Unironically scared a mess out of me, bruh. Like, dude. So why is murder and rape bad? God said so. You want to elaborate, man? Want to elaborate, champ? No. Huh?
And not just get away with it,
But
remain completely untroubled by any consideration of conscience.
Oh, hell no.
This is partly the judge's deal.
That's Ronnie 2K, cuz that's Mike Wang.
He promises power.
That's Guang Guang.
And not just any power, but power of the most extreme sort, over life and death. Rather than having to fear the Reaper, you would have it on your side.
That's tempting, I guess. Not really, no. Me personally, I cannot see the temptation in that. If hypothetically Judge Holden came up to me, hey, bruh, you'll be able to give in your deepest, darkest urges of, I don't know, what's my deepest, darkest urges? Fucking, of doxing every person that sells your rank games? Hey, Cuddy, maybe. But like, bro, like, you know, I feel like, but like, we're on a real note, though. No, Cuddy, ew.
It is no wonder that Glanton, who sees himself as desiring supreme freedom, would fall for this deal.
You would fall? I mean, I guess. It's like, it would be the ultimate act of freedom, being free from morality, I suppose. But low-key, that's just an excuse because you're just a demented fuck. You're not, ew. No, you're hiding, you're a false shepherd. Yeah, Cuddy. False shepherd-ass ideal, Cuddy. No, like, what the hell? What? That's not freedom. You're just a crazy fuck trying to find an excuse to be a crazy smuck. What? That's not freedom. The hell? Freedom doesn't mean you're free from a bad person. Like, if you want to go that route, you can keep on going and just say you're not free from your little skin suit, all right? You're just a spirit or a soul in the little husk you call the body, right? Like, you're just crazy. No, Cuddy. Hey, Cuddy, opinion diff, bruh. Spark a diff, pussy.
This is one of the chief clauses in the judge's false bargain.
Hey, Cuddy, and I see through you, Cuddy. You transparent fool. I see through you like the member of the Fantastic Four, bruh.
Faster death by becoming its ally.
By becoming, you're becoming its its fuck toy.
If it will not one day
get you.
Come for you.
Yeah, Cuddy.
And
hey, LDO, bruh, you're not catching me, bruh.
True to any ancient tempter, once the deal is made,
it can't be reversed.
It quickly changes.
The
men of
Monkey's Paw,
Glanton's crew, sign up because they are promised riches and a purpose.
And they die.
And yet soon they are killing just for the hell of it. In an often overlooked passage of the book, it is revealed that the gang has burnt a heap of the scalps that they are supposedly getting paid for because they just could not carry them.
Oh my goodness. Ask me anything, anytime, anywhere with Laura. Dear Laura, will these rank teammates stop selling me, dog?
So what's the plan for tonight?
Gonna have book club with the ladies.
What if they're like reading something? They're reading smut. I don't like this position. You think there's ever been a book club for smut? Unironically, probably like over some Discord like night, Cuddy. I just didn't like the position. Oh, I wish that was me, dude. Fuck. You're 45, Daryl.
Many longer. They begin to murder even those who mean them no harm and whom they gain nothing from. The evil that started as a means to an end
became
an end in itself.
Yeah.
In effect, this is the promise that our own worst natures often make to us as well.
Us?
When we are deep in the quagmire of
Quagmire.
our anger, our resentment, and our hate, what does our mind whisper to us? It
Cry.
tells us of the uselessness of our fragile moral code.
No, not for me. I mean, if I get done dirty, I just cry and like, it is what it is. They didn't really mean to. Unless it was deliberate. Like, if someone, like, beat the fuck out of my ankle and now I can't walk, yeah, I guess. But at the same time.
How it never gets anything done. How we should discard it and pursue our own selfish aims instead.
Y'all have these thoughts, bruh?
How we do not need anyone else. Do not care for anyone else.
I have those ones where I don't need... I've had those.
And why should we? They never did anything for us,
I've
and
had
we
those,
won't
yeah.
do anything for them either.
I've done those.
Variants on this horrid
If you had these thoughts, kill yourself. You're not a good person. Oh, my fault, bruh.
battle cry are heard all over literature, from the semi-mad scribblings of the underground man, to the speeches of Milton's Satan, to the sympathetic rebellion of Frankenstein's monster, to the vengeful hunt of Ahab in Moby Dick.
Moby.
One of the reasons the judge is so fascinating is because he is the apotheosis of this egoistic nihilism that cries out to us in our despair. A pale, hairless hand outstretched, and a quill thirsty for our blood. But, of course, it is a false steal. It is a false steal in Blood Meridian, and it is a false steal in real life. Just as the judge's siren song leads the Glanton gang to their brutal death, it leads us to a spiral of aggression and antisociality that ensures our permanent misery. Our search for a way out of desperation merely leads us deeper into its pit. And, just as the Buddha might say,
you gotta keep building a Fortnite, bruh.
we are led astray by our own ignorance.
Yeah, he said that too.
Until it is near impossible to find the path back. Such a fate awaits those who heed the little Judge Holden that stalks our miserable nights.
I'm looking at y'all kind of different, gang.
Ironically, the only member of the Glanton gang that the judge himself kills is the kid,
really?
whom he murders in the final few pages of the novel. This is often interpreted as Judge Holden's final victory, and it is followed by a celebratory dance where he declares his immortality.
Do the Fortnite, do the Fortnite, do the Fortnite.
But I don't quite see it that way. The kid may have been the physical victim of the judge, but to hear
He was uncorrupted. He wasn't uncorrupted, though.
Holden tell it, he is also the only person who never gave himself fully to the gang and thus to the judge's dark deal.
So the judge had to cheat in order to win.
The fact that Holden has to physically kill him.
He cheated. Right, he didn't corrupt him.
Is not his triumph.
It's a coward's way out, the pussy way out.
An admission of defeat.
Yeah.
Despite his own part in the gang, the kid never gave the judge his soul. And while he may be killed by the judge,
he stayed pure. He stayed invincible!
The other gang members arguably became the
judge.
They were reflections of his evil in just the same way Christians think we ought to be reflections of God's supreme goodness. On this reading, the judge is not simply Satan.
He's
he
a
is
mirror.
that within ourselves which urges us to imitate Satan.
So like a mirror.
And he is not merely the demiurge, but the aspect of us which would turn the world into
the living hell that, that it is?
a living hell, if only we had the power.
Who's we?
I think this interpretation is best illustrated by a fable told by the judge himself around the fire one night. He explains that there was once a harness maker who took to begging at the side of the road and gradually lost his character and his sense of companionship with other men. He lost any sight of what he could be, and his wife and son saw him as mad. One day, a traveler rode through and gave him and his family some money. And
Broke ass.
also told the man that he had lost his way and that he would not be whole again until he took his brother into his heart as he would take himself in. The harness maker became ashamed, and in that shame,
He found himself?
followed the traveler and killed him.
Oh. I thought it might be a wholesome story, Cuddy. Murked his ass.
Years later, he confides this crime to his son before dying. And the son goes on to become a killer himself.
Ugh. Also ugly as shit, gang. Ugh.
This story nested in Blood Meridian is in turn subject to several interpretations, but I like to think of it as emblematic of the choice the judge offers to those he comes across, and, by extension, the choice he gives to us. Will we take into our heart that which can make us better, that which teaches us what we can be? Or will we murder it in cold blood and ensure that our own future is nothing but more death and more destruction? Because, whereas we can debate whether archons or demons or devils are real, there is no denying
That temptation and evil is real.
the potential cruelty
Israel? Israel! Nah!
inscribed on the heart of every person.
Wait, what'd he say?
No denying the potential cruelty inscribed on the heart of every person on this planet, and the inevitable task of confronting
Something
it as we shape the course of our lives.
Yeah, you hear that, Cuddy? If a guy is selling your rank games, don't be saying nothing, bruh, because it could be me. Hey, Cuddy, if a guy is selling you on Spider-Man going 5 and 10, hey, bruh, chill. That might be me. Hey, don't talk trash to him, Cuddy. Chill, bruh. Hey, if Rogue about to come out, hey, Cuddy, if a guy was in your rank game playing Rogue, 5 and 11, hey, bruh, you hear my mans? You hear him right here, Cuddy? Don't give in to the temptation, bruh. If a guy's on rank, actually, I'm gonna coach you, Cuddy. I'm not bad on 2K. I'm cooking y'all. But like, hey, bruh, listen, if a guy's on Bandit, on Siege, Cuddy, going 1 and 4, don't give it to temptation, bruh. Chill. But what to do? That means you can't make fun of no more Dex. No more Aspen Gold slander. Hey, bruh, he was talking to y'all, not me. I'm Hoodie Versal. I'm chilling.
But lastly, I want to end on a note about the text itself,
Okay.
the value in this character, and why I am so glad that McCarthy left it all so open-ended.
What if McCarthy was just high?
For the magic of
Interpretation.
Managing schizophrenia with daily pills
Oh, what a ad.
is a constant reminder of
I'm good.
interpretation. When we have a character like the Judge, who has so many differing interpretations and who has captured the imagination of so many people, it does raise an inevitable question. What is the ultimate point of a character like this?
It's a
Why
kinda-
should we
ooh.
bother asking whether he is the devil or the demiurge or an archon or the spirit of temptation? What does that matter for us?
Does it give people an excuse? To give people an excuse not to view it as a mirror, but as this force that it's designed to be evil and not a reflection. Is it a cope? Low-key, one giant cope. We're like, this can never be me. Am I the audience? Something like that.
And this question, in various guises, is one I get quite often on this channel.
Mr. Unsolicited Advice, answer the question, please.
I spend an awful lot of time interpreting literature through a philosophical lens, and there is the issue of how can these stories teach us things?
Interpretation.
After all, in nonfiction, there is a pretty straightforward epistemic route from the text to new knowledge in our minds. When Daniel Kahneman uses his decorated background in cognitive science to tell us the holes in our thinking, he has a lot of studies to back that up. He is putting forward an unmysterious, verifiable premise and then verifying it.
Right.
How does learning through fiction come into any of this? It is a totally fair question, and I actually think that the figure of the Judge can provide us with a few speculative answers. The
Go away,
first
or
is that
answer away.
the way we emotionally react to a character
Speaks to our inherent, spark.
can teach us something about
Ourselves, yeah.
One reason Judge Holden is such a figure of fascination is because of the strong reactions he evokes.
What does it mean if we don't have a strong reaction to what, Judge Holden? To me, he's just another evil caricature of humanity that the worst we could be, yada yada yada, whoop de whoop, don't give in, you know?
Depending on who you are, you might be ever so slightly envious of his cleverness, charm, and raw power.
Envy? Yo, envious of the judge?
And yet also disgusted by the way that he chooses to use this power.
Oh, so like this people like do people that think like that have like a holier than thou like line of thinking?
You might find him simply disturbing, or recognize some of your most destructive and despairing impulses in his nihilistic outlook.
No.
A character like the judge is arguably valuable because he can reflect the depths to
Of the
which
person.
humanity is capable of falling, and this is a pretty important lesson. Whereas the question of how to live a good life occupies an awful lot of philosophical attention, it is arguably just as vital to avoid becoming a monster.
Ugh. The death inside of me.
And the negative lessons
Yo.
taught by Judge Holden are helpful in this pretty important way. Secondly, while Judge Holden...
Wait, no, but
as
answer my question, Mr. Damn it! I had to go on the Patreon, gang. Want to tell me that no one can ever outlast evil, but with enough courage, you might just be able to outdance it? I mean, no, I think you can outlast evil. I mean, I'm assuming like what he's talking about is death, but death isn't inherently evil. It's just like a natural thing that like occurs, right? When a thing dies from old age, it wasn't like evil. The Grim Reaper isn't evil. I guess you can, but like, here's my thing. If you reach hard enough, anything can mean anything, right? The Grim Reaper can be seen as evil, right? Because he's taking away a life. He's taking away someone's father, someone's husband, someone's son, someone's child, someone's daughter, someone's lover, someone's partner, someone's pet, right? But at the same time, you can also interpret it that way and reach to the degree, like to the opposite side of the spectrum. Like, hey, the death isn't like taken away. It's more so guiding that person through a natural, like, outcome, a natural thing that happens to a lot of people, not even people, just things in general, like plants, right? It's guiding them into an afterlife for whatever happens is whatever happens. He's helping them reach their path, right? Or maybe it's just a natural thing and nothing happens because, you know, you're atheist or something like that, or like you don't believe in like an afterlife, right? So I don't think Holden taught me that no one can outlast evil with no courage. You might be able to outdance it. Like, but at the same time, though, like I don't think you can outlast evil. You really can. If you die being like an inherently good person, and people like want to spin good around the word good into like this amorphous thing where you have to save villages, donate your money to charities, all your money, don't ever curse, don't ever drink, don't ever jerk off. You gotta walk a lady across the street. You know what I'm saying? On some Superman type of timing, or on some like, I don't know, who's like an inherently good, pure character. On some like, I don't know, who's like Billy, like Spider-Man did the new Insomniac games, right? Like he can never do no wrong. He's like this great guy, right? In like the first Insomniac Spider-Man game. But like at the same time, and my line of thinking is that being good isn't like this grand thing. It's just you doing your normal day-to-day activities, right? Doing what you're supposed to do, handling your responsibilities. Maybe like jerking off or like cussing or falling into like what people call temptation once in a while. You're still a good person, right? Being like a hooker. You're still a good person, dog. You know what I mean? That's how my line of thinking is. There's no such thing as outlasting evil. It's just your depiction of what you view as evil.
Depicted in McCarthy's book does not by itself make statements about the real world true. It does reflect genuine empirical facts in a vivid and emotionally resonant way.
Right.
While there is no way of knowing if the historical Judge Holden committed all the acts his fictional namesake did...
Wait, he's real?
There is no denying the depravity that we humans generally can enact. As many people before me have pointed out, McCarthy conducted extensive research into the kinds of brutality that were so prevalent in this area of America during this period, and he based the cruelty of the Glanton Gang, and of Judge Holden in particular,
Oh, like what, Columbus?
on this brutality. But by creating a figure who is not just reflective of that cruelty, but embodies and delights in it in a way that makes our consciences curdle, McCarthy condenses down the scale of the brutality, meaning that it does not just become a statistic to us, but maintains the emotional verisimilitude that makes the overarching truth of the bare unpleasantness of a lawless wasteland stick in our minds. And encourages what I think is perhaps the most important ingredient to learning from fiction.
Reflection.
It is
Cook up, Cuddy! You can't see my fingers, but hey, Cuddy. Clock it! Oh my god, clock it!
a strange thing reading a novel. There is an unbridgeable gap between the author and the reader that I personally find fascinating. When McCarthy writes a given sentence, I will picture something in my mind, without any confirmation as to how similar this image is to what McCarthy himself was picturing when he penned that line. And this goes doubly so for McCarthy's writing style here, because it manages to be both rich in symbolism, yet also leave the precise meaning of the text vague enough that you have to sort of complete it in your head. It's the same reason many people find value in reading the writings of mystics or Buddhist koans.
Tostitos makes masa the traditional way, crafting the perfect crunch. Tradition matters.
Crunch these nuts.
My niece wants toys giving glam pop star and genius.
Come with me. For the skull.
Move!
I think that, ideally, the imprecision is not a bug here, but a feature. In the attempt to bridge the gap and fill in the blanks left by the text, it both encourages us to train certain mental muscles and further reflect and build upon the themes of the book. For example, if you primarily see the judge as Satan, as the adversary, something external to you, then you might find yourself reflecting upon the kinds of evils you encounter around you in the world. You may ask what you would do if confronted with a judge-like figure, and gently hope that you would have the fortitude to stand up to him like the kid did eventually. You might see his philosophy as the antithesis of everything you stand for and aim to combat it out in the world, just like how many Christians view the devil. If you see him as the demiurge or an archon, a dark reflection of the world we live in, then he might push you to do everything you can to not allow the current of brutality that runs through Blood Meridian to manifest wherever you are, to make the small chunk of reality that you inhabit somewhere the judge would not feel so peaceful and contented, but rather disgusted and unsettled. And to embrace that divine spark that the Gnostics thought lived in all of us, whether literally or metaphorically. If, however, you view the judge more as a tempting force from within, that might cause you to take stock of the darker aspects of your psyche, to recognize the deal the judge offers as a false one, and to reaffirm your own internal commitment to rejecting his horrible philosophy.
That's what I view it as.
It might also alert you to the more destructive and antisocial parts of yourself.
Could have clocked my shit.
Here, the quest might not be to expunge the judge from the world, but rather from your own mind. My point is not that one of these interpretations is right. It is that in any case, it is in the act of interpretation, that peculiar mix of cognition and emotion, that a text like McCarthy's Blood Meridian goes from just being a thrilling and intoxicating read to the stone that sparks the development of your own philosophy.
Cuddy, he's scripting, Cuddy, the stone that's...
And what holds for Blood Meridian and The Judge arguably holds for all great fiction. In slowing down, thinking about, and interpreting these works, we not only confer a great respect onto the author, but also a great gift to ourselves. The gift of honest and focused reflection. In this case, inspired by McCarthy's genius. But if you want to explore another deeply...
Okay, that was a great... Hey, Cuddy, hold this up. That was cool. Let me see. Outdance it, I guess. Let me see. What else? One of the most terrifying things about him is that the fact he absolutely oozes charisma. McCarthy based the judge on the actual Judge Holden text that I wrote with the glancing, and the judge being bald is a misunderstanding of how men called clean-shaven men bald back in the day. The painting was made using a color called mummy brown. When a gang was stranded on a mountain, he made gunpowder from the minerals there. In Paradise Lost, though, he made war against God. Never heard of this character before until I saw the picture to keep the fuck out of me. I had to look into it. Now I'm in a rabbit hole considered about it. I'm considering buying his book, too. This rabbit hole is kind of good. What are, like, the worst thing he's done? Judge Holden, like, crimes. Judge Holden, worst acts or crimes, whatever. Let's see. Move. Is the antagonist of the Lake Cormac only for it to be real that he's a deranged atheist with supernatural qualities who enjoy suffering? What makes him evil? Mass slaughterings, robbery, and scalp hunt. Oh my, Despite being Glant and second in command, he never truly loyal to him, as he only views him as a pawn in his ultimate goals. The judge allows Glant to die once he no longer needs him, possibly even planning his death. A child molester, rapist, and murderer. On one occasion, he fills his pocket with little candy death's heads, and he sets about the door and offers them to children to put them more on edge, but they are too scared of him. He rapes and kills 3 children. By the end of the story, a little girl is lost, which is possibly because of him, and it's because people to deliver her. Also, he accuses a reverend of raping an 11-year-old girl and having sex with a goat in an attempt to get the priest killed by his Oh my lord. When confronted about how he is aware of the facts, he says that he never actually met or saw him in his real life and simply destroyed the Reverend's life for no good. Holy shit! When he and a group of nomadic mercenaries encountered the tribe of how he tricks the natives by falsely surrendering only to attack them, brutally murdering them. He has involved in several more conflicts with natives, including a raid that resulted in slaughtering multiple babies and influences non-combatants. He refuses to help David Brown pull out an arrow in his leg and even sarcastically jokes about stealing his insurance. He murders a native's child and scalps him and puts him less than before, and when told Vine confronts him about his act, he does not show any kind of remorse or guilt. He shoots a man who stabbed one of the gang members at a bar, which, oh my gosh! Well, I honestly think he might be, I think he might be worse than, he's worse than Am. He's worse than AM. He's an assassin and touches his to continue doing the game. Later, when he visits him, he tells him to come closer, talk to him, and touch him, and even says that he will love him like a son if he was close with him since the start. He is worse than Am, Cuddy. He is worse than Am, bruh. But fellas, that's great for today's video. But if you like the video, I don't really like y'all. I'm joking. I love each and every one of y'all. Love y'all, man. Peace. Bye.